We're back for another Cooking with the Master. We're with Tariq from Beyroots to talk us through how to make some of his Lebanese food. What are we making today?
So today we're going to make toum, which is basically garlic puree. It's like an emulsification of garlic, and what we do is that's like our basis of our marinades.
Right, okay.
And then we use that garlic puree to mix in with a range of spices to make either chicken shish tawuk marinade,
Okay.
or shish laham marinade for the lamb, basically.
Right, okay. Oh, amazing.
It's just really to make the meat more fragrant, a bit more juicy, and obviously it just kind of makes it more relevant to the actual cuisine you're focusing on. Obviously today we won't be marinating overnight, but it does bind to the meat quite well.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
Yeah,
so for anyone at home, day before, marinate your meat before the day you cook it.
Yeah, typically, I like to give it, 24 to 48 hours of
Okay.
marinating time, and then we transition and skewer and cook.
Cool.
So typically what I'll do is, again, a lot of these recipes that I do are very much by eyesight. They're not typically I'm not a very accurate kind of person, because that's the way I was shown.
Yeah.
So you can kind of follow along, but I might end up sort of being a bit misleading at times.
No,
So
fine.
yeah, just
Brilliant.
like we'll see how it goes. So typically what I'll do is, to start off with, I will take a normal size family food processor and fill roughly around sort of the bottom of the processor, basically, just so there's no real space showing underneath the garlic itself. Once you've got your garlic in there, put some salt, salt just to cover the garlic.
Okay.
And what that does is, when it binds, it just increases the friction between the blade and the garlic, so when it starts to cut, it just holds it together nicely.
Yeah, okay.
So we'll give that an initial blitz. So we'll give that an initial blitz until it's kind of all pasty, I guess.
Right, yeah, okay.
Again, we're not looking for it to be too fine yet, because now it's going to start to move on to the delicate part of the emulsification process, basically.
Right.
So the hardest part about this is making sure it doesn't split. If you add any of the ingredients we're about to add too quickly, then what will happen is the oil will separate from the garlic, and then you'll just have this garlic soup and oil, and it looks horrific, basically.
Yeah, okay.
And it doesn't work for marinade. So what we've got here is squeezed lemon juice and vegetable oil. So we'll start off with this on, and we're just gradually adding vegetable oil until it starts to catch the garlic on the bottom of the processor.
Right.
And then once you see it start moving, we're just gonna put a squirt of lemon juice in there.
Yeah.
And let it do its thing for a bit.
Right, okay.
Take this lid off. Get all that onto the bottom so it can so no garlic gets neglected.
Yeah.
Let that keep going. And then as it's going, we're just going to gradually add more vegetable oil as we go. So you can see now, Paddy, it's starting to get whiter and whiter, almost like cloudy.
Yeah.
So that's good, that's what we want, basically.
Okay. And it's kind of coming together as a paste.
Yeah,
slowly.
so now you can see it coming together as a paste.
Yeah.
When you see it start to move more in like a liquid form, add more lemon juice.
Okay.
What the lemon juice does is, the citric acid in the lemon juice basically kind of helps it from prevent splitting.
Right, okay.
So if you look at it now, it's kind of like this garlicky jelly.
Yes.
As you can see here, you've got this kind of white cloudy consistency on the garlic.
Yeah.
It's not quite as fine as we want it to be, but that comes with more processing, basically. Clean off the edges here.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go back on again, start mixing again.
Cool.
And again, all we're doing here is we're just getting more and more volume as we add oil. To everyone watching this, it will look like there's a decent amount of oil going into this, but you have to just remember that the more oil that goes in, the juicier it's going to be, the better the meat's going to be.
Yeah.
And a lot of this oil gets burnt off in the cooking process anyway.
Okay.
So don't be too disheartened by seeing this and seeing how much oil goes in, because a lot of it gets burnt off when you try and grill it. We're just going to keep going with that oil slowly. Again, it's getting more and more bound, and it's getting more and more cloudy, basically, which is really good.
Yeah, it's gone really, really white now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what we want. We're just going to continue adding this oil. It's just getting cloudier and cloudier, and it's starting to bind a bit more. So yeah, a little bit more of the lemon juice.
Yeah.
So this is starting to get a bit more thick now.
Yeah.
And this is starting to emulsify really well.
Right.
So yeah, if you can see here, it holds onto the spatula really well. Like it doesn't just come off. That shows how viscous it is, which is quite good. Yeah. Considering how much oil and lemon juice is in there, that just shows the emulsification is working, basically.
Right, okay.
And typically the ratio of oil and lemon juice to garlic is, if you have the garlic covering the bottom of the food processor, the amount of oil probably matches the same volume as the garlic, and the lemon juice is probably a quarter.
Right,
basically.
okay.
So this is good for me for now. So what we'll do is now we're just going to transfer this to a free box. And again, just getting any bits off there. So here, this is like kind of an annoying part. You need to kind of just like dunk it out without the blades going all over the place. So just give this a little bang. I'm just going to clear off the edges and get everything into this box here.
Just a complete paste, really, really white, really cloudy.
Yeah, so again, we use this for lamb marinade, chicken marinade, and our garlic sauce as well.
Okay.
This now, I mean, you're more than welcome to try it, but it is like pure garlic. Like, this is like burn your mouth garlic, basically.
You want me to try it?
Yeah, you're welcome to try it.
Yeah.
I'd say just use
Good,
half a teaspoon, basically. Yeah, because it's literally like eating like a pure garlic clove. Like, yeah.
Wow.
So
pungent.
So that's fiery. Yeah. So basically, that is kind of why we can use a small amount of this, and it goes a very, very long way when it comes to mixing with meat and mixing in sauces. So now what we'll do is we've got a spice mix here.
Next step.
This is our spice. I'm not going to tell the ratios because you know it's secret.
Secret spices.
Exactly. Yeah. So this is our chicken. This is our chicken spice mix. We've got paprika, white pepper, black pepper, salt, ginger, and thyme. So I'll give this all a mix up basically, so it's nice and combined.
Yeah.
And for this amount of garlic paste, we're probably going to do 3 tablespoons of this max.
Okay.
So we'll do just 3 level tablespoons of this.
Yeah. And is there anything you're kind of looking for colour-wise on the marinade?
It just needs to look like a kind of rich sort of orangey red.
Okay.
Basically.
Yeah.
On this, we're going to add a little bit of olive oil just for flavour.
Okay.
And then a little bit more lemon juice, again, just for flavour, just because it makes the chicken taste fresh, basically.
Right, okay.
And we're going to add some tomato puree. For the tomato puree, we're probably going to do a 1:4 ratio with the garlic puree.
Okay.
So again, a decent spatula or 2 should be about the right amount. And then we're just going to combine it all together, basically.
Okay. Well, this is really interesting. I always thought kind of the base of like Lebanese cuisine was yogurt as like a base marinade.
So there are kind of 2 schools of thought when it comes to this kind of thing.
Right.
For me, it's really more about just focusing on the garlic side of things because there tends to be more people who have a dairy allergy than a garlic intolerance.
Yeah, okay.
So if we were to do a yogurt-based menu, then we'd probably be alienating a lot more people.
Yeah, definitely.
So for me, this allows us to have marinades and stuff more accessible for more people, which is good. So this looks nice and combined for now. I don't know if you guys can see there. We're going to chuck the chicken in there.
Brilliant.
Okay, lovely. So we've got a kilo of chicken here. This is probably a bit overkill marinade-wise for the amount of chicken we're doing, but we're just going to go for it anyway because I'm sure there's some hungry cameramen who want to eat some chicken.
Rumour has it, the vultures behind that lens.
So we'll just dump that in there. This is all just done by hand.
Yeah.
We're just going until all the pieces are just really well covered. So now we'll just skewer them up and we'll grill them.
Lovely.
Yeah,
brilliant.
cool.
Amazing.
In terms of how we're skewering this, we'll do 4 to 6 pieces of chicken per skewer.
Okay.
It really just depends how heavy-handed our butcher's being this week. Typically works out to between 200 and 300 grams per skewer, so we're pretty generous when it comes to how much we're doing. So that's about 5 pieces there. So this is what we do before every shift with our chicken and our lamb. We've started doing a kafta more regularly as well, so that's more of a wraparound on a thicker skewer.
Like a mincemeat type thing? Yeah.
Exactly, yes. That's a lamb and the beef mince with parsley.
And what about all your meat that's used on the stall? Is it halal meat?
So it's all halal meat. It's all sourced from H&M Meats or from Aziz Halal Centre in Moxford Park.
Okay.
Which incidentally is the same butcher that my dad used when I was a kid.
Oh,
so
wow.
the butchers there remember me from when I was a kid, basically. So there's a decent family connection there.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant.
So we've got 6 skewers there. You guys are pretty lucky, so you're going to eat.
Is there any reason in particular you barbecue over whacking it in a frying pan? Or
I mean, just typically, it's just firstly, it's obviously more authentic, and then secondly, we want to be able to cook off that oil from the marinade as much as we can. It just gives it that smoky flavour, which is what we want to have in the marinade.
So anyone at home, this will be coming out in the peak of summer, so get the barbecue on.
Yeah, no, I
do it properly.
summer or not, I mean, I'm outside grilling at my house all day, so every time of year, basically, it keeps the smoke out your kitchen. So you know, get outside and grill, even if it's snowing. Just get on with it.
Brilliant. Let's head over and let's get cooking.
Cool.
Right, we're in the Beyroots van. Tariq, what's next?
So yeah, just grilling basically.
Okay.
So we'll just go. Obviously got raw tongs. So we're just gonna go. We'll get all 5.5 of these skewers on.
Yeah.
Typically, I'd say like the grill's only just really gone on, but when the grill is at sort of peak heat, it will take roughly 10 minutes for each skewer, so we'll do 5 minutes on each side, basically. Okay. We're working to a cooking temperature of 75 degrees internal temperature, and then we try and get it off as close to that as possible. So obviously that's a safe cook, but we don't want to allow the meat to overcook because it's breast rather than thigh, so it dries out quite quickly if you leave it on for too long. And then that's it basically.
Brilliant. And what are you cooking over here? It's not like coal, is it?
So this is kind of considered as like a char broiler. So it's basic. So it's gas, but the gas is actually heating elements, and then anything that drops down onto those elements elements kick smoke back up.
Right,
So it kind of gives that smoky texture as if you would be cooking on a charcoal barbecue rather than just a straight gas plate, flat plate.
Right, okay. How often are you turning them? Are you waiting till one side's completely cooked?
I kind of have this sort of process where it's like, if you're looking, it isn't cooking.
Right,
So,
okay.
you know, once it's on, leave it.
Right.
And then, yeah, the second you start to see the edges of it starting to whiten up on
Yeah.
halfway up, then, you
Okay.
know, it's roughly a good indication you can start to flip them over.
Right, okay. Right, Tariq, so the meat's all done, chicken's all been cooked for about 10 minutes or so?
Yeah, roughly, yeah. So we'll go back
Brilliant.
to the kitchen now, we'll start assembling some wraps.
Lovely.
Sweet.
Back to the kitchen. Right, we're back in the kitchen to finish the dish. Tariq, how do you make your Beyroots wrap?
So, greaseproof wrapping paper,
Yeah.
Hubbers flatbread,
Okay.
shout out to Dina Foods, very, very good.
Where are they based?
They're based in Acton, Park Royal.
Right,
They've
okay.
got a few sort of like bakery factories around that kind of area. We get it delivered fresh every morning apart from Wednesdays, basically.
Wow,
So
okay.
nice and soft, like, as you can see, it's very like
Yeah.
gluteny, so it's nice and soft. For the chicken shish, we'll do lettuce, tomatoes, pickles. It's pickled Lebanese cucumbers, so this is typically the size of what Lebanese cucumber would be. And again, yeah, they're just chopped up for us, basically.
Right,
We import these over from Lebanon, or sometimes we do them ourselves.
Wow,
basically.
okay.
Healthy amount of lettuce for each wrap. 4 to 5 slices of chopped tomato.
Yeah.
And these can be any kind of tomato, like beef or salad, it's fine. And then, yeah, we've got our Lebanese pickled cucumbers. I like to go like a healthy amount of salad in each one, just so there's a decent amount of crunch in each one. We've got our homemade garlic and our homemade chili sauces.
Yeah.
Just like a healthy coverage on each one. We'll kind of just do a little zigzag, or we can just go straight across each way.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, same for that one. Similar kind of volume for the chili sauce. And then we're taking skewer per wrap. Yank the skewer out, put it to one side for each one. And then we're going arse end, this is a sauce catcher.
Oh, yeah.
Wrapping over the top, squeeze and roll. Again, another sauce catcher on the bottom.
Yes.
And then we're just squeezing and rolling as we go. Little bang on the bottom to make sure the chicken's all centered. Twist. Then we stick that on the grill. And yeah, just to heat it through a little bit. But it's just as good being eaten straight away like this, which is what we'll do here.
Yeah.
We've got
The
grill here.
facilities, yeah.
All right, sweet. So Paddy, time for you to taste it, mate.
Lovely.
Typically when we hand out the wrap, you'll see there's a pretty popular reel on our social media that's had quite a lot of likes on it, where I explain how it should be eaten.
Yeah.
The annoying thing is sometimes when you hand the wrap out like that, people assume that it's like a baton, and they take it upside down, and then all the sauce is just pissing out the top. And then they'll start to tear off here, and then all they're having is just a big butt of bread before they actually get to any meat or anything like that. So the twist is the opening point.
Right.
We're untwisting, we're holding about 2/3 of the way down, we're tearing, and we're going around like that, and then pull like that.
Amazing.
That's for you,
Thank
bud.
you. Super
Enjoy,
excited for
mate.
this.
Yeah, no worries, man.
Oh God, Tariq, that is absolutely delicious.
Very
Really,
good.
really nice. Garlic sauce is amazing. Not too strong, not overpowering, but you can just taste, and really lemony as well.
Yeah.
The meat's been beautifully marinated. Get the smoky flavours off the barbecue as well, obviously. So Tariq, where can people find you 7 days a week?
Typically, we're at Maltby Street every weekend, Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
We do King's Cross County Market as well, but that's,
Yeah.
that's always a Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Throughout the week, we just do different office, outside of different office buildings. So we do the Gherkin, we do the Cheese Grater building, which is Leadenhall Market.
Yeah.
It's not the same every week, so the best thing to do is check us out on Instagram
Yeah.
and just see what we put at the beginning of our story at the beginning of each week where we're going to be.
Thanks very much, Tariq. Guys, give them a follow, go find them. You can book them direct through Street Food Union. The sauce is going to be up on the website soon. Thank you very much for another Cooking with the Master. It's been an absolute pleasure, Tariq.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you very much.
for having me.
We'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Nice sauce, that. God, like vultures, man. Yeah. Right, so we're in the Beyroots van now. Tariq, so what's the next? Sorry, I'm saying it again. I'm not getting your name wrong. You don't have much. That pissed me off last time. We're in the Beyroots van again. Tariq, what's the next?
No, it's fine.
Yeah,
Fine.
Tariq?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I said Tariq.
No,
You got me
Sorry,
confused
I
now,
think you
Josh.
got PTSD.
Yeah.
Don't put ketchup in a chicken shish wrap.
Yeah.
It's just not cool.
Yeah.
I need a can opener.
Yeah. Let's have a look. Yeah.
That's a garlic crusher, mate.
That's knocked. Cut.
This is the one.
Cut that right out.